Buzz's Retirement Garage, the ramblings of a retired lunatic. Here we go. So what's on my mind today? Well, a couple things. One, on my cable TV, thank you for giving me quite a few comments. I haven't caught up to all of them yet, but we are trying YouTube TV. And if you saw my last video, which I apologize for, the video looked like an old 1980s VCR tape. I don't know why. I guess the sun was hitting it the weird way or something. I don't know, but that was kind of strange. Today, I'm fighting a little bit of the rain. It's supposed to pour like crazy here in a few minutes, but I was close by the Olmsted Falls, so I thought I would go ahead and do a film here before it rains on me. So I'm hiding under the trees. You may be able to see it sprinkling a little bit behind me, maybe not. I'll give you a little panoramic of the area in a few minutes. So back to the cable TV. So I went to the Cox Cable company. When I say that word, some people are, that's what she said, but whatever. When I went to the company, I found that they were going to give me a price of $214, but right now they're pushing their cell service. So I thought, okay, let me call. So I called this morning, and he said there's no deals, and he can't even do the $214. So this whole thing is getting a little bit confusing. We have signed up and are watching YouTube TV. So it's $62.62 with taxes for the first 3 months, and then it goes to around $78-80 with taxes. So it's something that we're looking at. Now, when I did call the Cox Cable guy, there was something he brought up which I didn't even think about. If I stick with their internet and I use YouTube TV or other apps, I'm going to go over my data limit and I'm going to be charged extra. He says it happens all the time. People switch to the apps and they don't realize that the apps take up so much of their megabytes or whatever that you're going to go over your allotment and you're going to end up paying more. I said, well, thank you for that information, because it didn't dawn on me. So now I got to be careful of that. I got to put that into the equation too. I'm still thinking about T-Mobile Internet. I got a lot of great tips from you guys. A lot of you shared what you're doing and how you're doing it, and that's super. And then Kelly, I've had 25 or 26 people ask for Kelly's email, which breaks down all the different options that you can go, like YouTube TV or the Hulas, the whatevers. If you need that, it's nopurplecar@gmail.com. I will send you Kelly's write-up. It's very good. Like I said, about 26 people have taken advantage of that so far. So I appreciate that, Kelly. If you're watching this one, I appreciate it. So that's where we're at with the cable right now. But what was interesting was my wife's program, news program that she likes to watch in the morning, was unavailable. Cox Cable had stopped the program, some kind of technical difficulties, if you can imagine that. So of course I had to wink and say, well, honey, what about YouTube TV? Why don't you try it? So she said, oh, really? It's on there, right? Yeah. So we clicked it on and there it is. And I said, boy, I got to tell all my peeps about this. Score 1 for the Buzz. Anyway, so it's 1 Mr. Buzz to 0 Mrs. Buzz. I gotta rack up a couple more wins and I might win her over. But now we got to figure out about the internet. And then someone else told me about calling on the phone, because I want to get rid of the phone, right? I got the landline for 20 bucks. Somebody said UMA, O-O-M-H-A or something, I don't know. I looked it up. They only charge you for taxes. In my area, that would be about $6.50 a month. And you have to buy their UMA Goompa machine, which is $100 bucks. And that ties into your internet. But then they said, if you want to keep your same number, there's a charge for that. And I don't know what that charge is. I have to call them. So that may be another option. I don't know. I'm going to look into that. But paying $650, even though I'm going to pay $100 for the machine, it's still going to pay off in the long run if she wants to keep her home phone. So I'm going to look at different things. And someone else told me about Magic Jack, and I remember Magic Jack from a long time ago. I'll have to look into that too. So there are options for a home phone, not going through the cable company, but going through internet for sure, right? So that covers the cable part of it, I think. The other thing is one of our subscribers, commenters asked, you're getting close to Medicare. What are you gonna do? Because I'm gonna be 65 in January. So I'm already on Social Security, so I really don't have to worry about A and B because the government will take care of that. If you're not on Social Security, you have to apply for that, I believe. So I've listened, take it back. In January, I'm 65, so I think by October, I need to sign up or get ready to sign up for something. So I'm getting close. We're still a ways away, but I'm getting close. But I've already decided. To me, it's an easy decision at this point in time. My wife, she's 2 years older than me. We went through Brian Monahan at Medicare 365, and I think he's out of Jersey, I'm not positive, but he does YouTube videos, Medicare 365. I signed up with him on the phone for my wife, and we went ahead and did that. And we went with Medicare Supplement Plan N as in Nancy, okay? And there's a bunch of reasons why we did that over an Advantage plan. 50%, data says, 50% of people are doing a G or an N supplemental plan. 50% are doing an Advantage plan. Advantage plan, normally you have to be in a certain network with certain doctors, but they give you some dental, a good amount of dental coverage. Some of them I've seen up to $4,000 or $5,000 a year in dental. Now I don't know how it all works, but they're trying to get you on that. Brian just did a video, Brian Monahan at Medicare 365 just did a video about Plan N and not, or I should say, not going with the Advantage plan. There's a new guy on the scene, and I say new, he's an older guy, but he's a new guy. He's called Dr. Weir, W-E-I-R. He was a Social Security boss in one of the areas, I don't remember where. He's new to the scene, but he's getting quite a following because he has a depth of knowledge and experience, okay? And that makes a difference, the experience. So he knows the ins and outs of Social Security, and he's also saying in one of his latest videos, he would rather have Medicare Plan N. He thinks that's the way to go. I'm not gonna get into all the different parts of it because you need to do the studying. So what I did was, I put up a little cheat sheet here. So Brian's name is on top. Now what I like about Brian, and it doesn't matter who you go to, they get paid by the government. You don't have to pay anything when you sign up. So you can do it on the phone. But one thing I like about Brian, and I like about people or companies in general, is follow-up. I'm a big believer that you should be calling me once in a while to see how I'm doing. How is my plan working? Just to say hello, just to act like you care. I'm a big believer in that. It goes a long way with me. I did it in my previous life. I would call customers out of the blue, hey, how's things going? How are we treating you? And it is part of TS 16949 and all that good stuff that you're supposed to be doing that in the automotive industry. You're supposed to be getting report cards from your customers. But it's also nice just to get an email out to them. And they're cutting trees up here. There's a bridge over here, and it looks like sounds like they're cutting some trees. Hopefully it won't bother us too much. But Brian and his team at Medicare 365, once we signed up with them, I probably received in the last couple years 4 to 5 calls just to make sure everything's going good. Do you have your Part D? What did you get? How we doing? And all that. So every year during open enrollment, he calls up, he checks out to make sure everything's going good. So I like that customer service, so I'm going to stick with him. But as you can see, there's 2 more here that I have listed. The Retirement Nerds, Eric, he gives a lot of great information. I just like his style and the way he puts things out. It's fairly simple for even my little brain to understand. So the Retirement Nerds, they do YouTube videos all the time, and Eric is he's really good at it, and he does a great job. And then MedicareSchool.com, you've all seen Marvin. He puts out a lot of good information as well. Just between the Retirement Nerds, Eric and Marvin, and if you do catch up to Dr. Weir, I didn't put his name down, but Dr. Weir, you'll find it. He's an up and coming. He's doing a lot of videos now. He's taking questions. He's doing a really great job when it comes to Social Security and Medicare. If you just deal with a couple of those people, and you can get a real good understanding how everything works. And again, I'm going to go with Plan N, as in Nancy. In Ohio, there's no they can charge you up to $20 for a doctor's visit. In some states, they can charge you more, but in Ohio, they can't charge you any more than that, I think up to that $20. So if you only go to the doctor twice a year, 3 times a year, just to get your medications refilled and all that, you're spending $60 versus the G plan, which you're going to pay $50 more a month. So Plan N seems to be the best way to go. Hopefully, and I'm not taking anything away from Advantage plans. If your doctors are in that network and all that, great, and it works out for you, great, and it has for a lot of people. But as Brian said, Brian Monahan at Medicare 365 just had a video, and one of the things that is for nursing homes, if you get a stroke, they're kicking you out of the nursing home in 20 or 30 days, whatever it is. With Medicare, if you take a Plan G, Plan N, you have 100 days before they kick you out, or before you get charged at the nursing home. Plus, certain nursing homes, and I know this with my father-in-law and mother-in-law, when you're on an Advantage plan, there's only a handful of certified or recognized nursing homes that you can go to. With Medicare, you can go to any nursing home that takes Medicare. So there's pluses and minuses to everything. But again, someone asked a question, what I'm going to do, and that's what I'm going to do, Plan N. So anyway, let's stop with the business and let's look around. Yeah, Olmsted Falls. So you see, just there's some rocks over here, and I don't want to go out there because it's raining hard now. But there's a little dip in the water. There's a pool where the water collects over there. And when I was 9 years old, my friend of mine, or my friend of my parents, he had the old purple Corvair. If you remember the Corvair from way back, I think that's what it was. He was, I don't want to say he was the town drunk, but he's long gone, so I'll say he was the town drunk. And he had the cane poles in the car. He had the beer bottles clinking in the back seat. And he took me fishing, and I caught my little silver fish, probably a big minnow is all it was. But he taught me how to fish about 8 or 9 years old, I think it was. So rest in peace. I even forget his name, but he was a good guy. He's an older guy that liked to drink, but he was funny. He was a good guy. Everything smelled like cigarettes and beer. I thought that's the way life was, but found out, no, that's not the way it is. Anyway, it's starting to rain really hard now, so I'm going to get out of here. Bored you enough, and we'll catch up to you next time at Buzz's Retirement Garage.